Hello, and welcome back to another episode of SimCity 2000. In this episode, we're going to continue expanding our population and hopefully getting really close to all the endgame unlockables. So this episode's mostly going to consist of me just upgrading the low density areas into higher density areas, simply because I don't want to necessarily fill every tile in the map, just because I do like some of the natural beauty of like the mountains that we have and the trees and the rivers. But I do think that we can take some of these lower density places and turn them into higher density, like you see here. So we'll just be turning a bunch of these blocks into high density residential to draw more people in. It'll sort of be a slow process because I don't want to get rid of all of the low density that we have, because it does create a nice city effect where we sort of have like the suburbs and then we have like more busy areas in the city. So you see me here, I'm adjusting the taxes so that we can get more people in, since our residential demand is pretty low compared to commercial and industry. And money doesn't seem to be an issue at this point in the game, so we can lower our taxes pretty much as we want. So while we're redoing these spaces, it's a good opportunity to add services that we don't have. So there you saw me put in a library. I think our education's doing just fine, but it doesn't hurt to throw in a few more parks and services in there. So there you see me checking up on the population. For the last couple of episodes now, we've been sort of stuck in this area of about 100,000 to 110,000. And that keeps getting set back by disasters or just simply no space for us to grow. So here I decided to add some land into the river. I don't want to do this too much, but when we have to, it's fine. And then the power plant, got to replace that. The lifespan on that was gone. But yeah, the population issue that we have, we definitely need to figure out how we can continue to grow and expand. And in the short term, it's not going to grow that quick, because we did just demolish a bunch of houses just to put in high density residential. So it will take a while for that to come into effect and for us to actually see the results. So here I'm just sort of scouting out more areas that we could turn into high density. Since, like I said before, I don't want to just fill the entire map with high density residential, so I'm sort of strategically picking which blocks to raise up and which ones to not. I also noticed that traffic is becoming an issue, so when I can, I will be trying to sort of ease up the traffic. You can see that industrial area there was very dense with traffic. And most areas sees like moderate traffic. It's not like terrible, but as we keep adding high density residential, that will continue to get worse as more people use the roads. Here I'm just making sure that we have everything as high as we can to make the city as attractive as it can be. And then here I'm just checking the city stats, since we haven't really done that at all. So I'm just making sure everything looks normal, which it does. You can see the growth. And our population is starting to rise. So these are good signs. So the more we continue to add high density, the higher it'll get. And we will pretty much achieve that by pretty much doing any means necessary, whether that's building new land, getting rid of old buildings. Oh, and then we just had a crash. Thankfully, these crashes are pretty easy to fix now. We have enough firefighters where it's not an issue, and these crashes, as long as we can catch them early, don't pose any threat to us at all anymore. So there I just have to make sure that we patch up whatever was destroyed and clear any debris that might cause issues. But other than that, that was just a very small minor inconvenience. And so I decided to make this area here high density just because it's next to a commercial space in the stadium. That seems like that would make sense. And here I'm just checking to see if all of our roads are intact, since we have had quite a few disasters in the area. And you see there was a road that we missed, and also just some weird spaces that weren't zoned for whatever reason. Maybe there was a road there before, or maybe there was a service that we forgot to replace. So just these small things that we missed that could potentially help out the city more. So now I'm sort of getting tired of replacing blocks, and I'm really trying to think of new ways to expand the population. So here I'm just gonna basically add more land to the coast and use this space for residential. It's a pretty decent chunk of land, so hopefully we'll be able to get at least a few thousand people here. Maybe only like 2,000 or 3,000 more population, but we're only a few thousand population away from all the end game stuff, so we gotta do what we gotta do with that stuff. I will say there are some areas of this map that are poorly planned and laid out, but I think that's due to simply because I wanted to deal with the challenge of having to build around the landscape and not just level the entire map. But I think what we want to do is still very much in reach with what we have. I think it's just a matter of getting lucky with not having any major disasters, as well as keeping our demand up. So you can see our population is getting up there. We're up around like the 1,008 or 108,000 range, which is good. And we still have a lot of these new areas that we zoned still building. So I've no concern at all that we will reach that population very soon. But for now, that'll be it for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.